Good morning, mi gente. It's 9 a.m. I know, gay people and an LGBTQ plus Kiki at 9 in the freaking morning. That's why I'm still in bed. Me? I'm FayWhat, and I'm gonna help you get your week started off right. We have lots of fun things to talk about. It's gonna be a great week.
Gay boys, hashtag that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina, but she's universal too? If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
The FayWhat Show is America's first LGBTQ plus morning show, and we're live right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm also on demand for you. It's Monday, May 15th, 2023. I hope that Mother's Day weekend was as good for you as it was for me. I'm not a mom, so it was great for me, right? Anyway, so let's kiki about what's going on in the LGBTQ plus community. I have a sidekick joining me in bed for some conversation. What did you think I was talking about? I mean, hello, it's Mark. Our first segment is Gay Boy Sleep Late. And this morning I'm joined by my gay guy pal, one of my co-hosts on It's Happening Out, as well as life coach and leather sir, Mark Pettitt. Good morning, Mark, and welcome to FayWhat's Bed.
What's up, Faye, in the FayWhat world?
How are
y'all
you
doing? Thank you for being in bed with us this early.
Yeah, I know,
we
it's
will
early.
make it worth your while.
Oh,
we are
thank
going to
God.
put that morning wood attention of yours to
Ooh,
work.
wood. Yeah. Speaking of morning wood, so I go and I wake up Mark with a colada, right? And that is like that wonderful coffee essence that's made from Cuban nuts. It's not really made from Cuban nuts. It's just made by Cuban people, but it's really good. And it's one of those things where you're supposed to take a little shot of it. Well, we both drank it to the face. So here we are, awake at 9 in the morning for you. Enjoy it.
We're going to talk about 35 topics in 3 minutes.
Woohoo! Get ready.
We're going to crash like babies.
We are going to crash like babies. We're going to be like wrapped up in this bed like a burrito.
Like
That's
Luna.
okay. That's okay. There's a lot of interesting things going on this week in the LGBTQ plus community. There's always crazy things going on in our community. You ready to kiki on some of them?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Let's
do it. So first, actor Daniel Radcliffe has conducted a meaningful panel on allyship, gender euphoria, and boundaries with a group of trans and non-binary youth as part of a series for LGBTQ plus charity, the Trevor Project. In the panel named Sharing Space, Radcliffe urged people to listen to trans kids when it came to discussing their rights and existence. In the first episode of the series of talks, the Harry Potter actor explained that he has little problem with the word ally, okay? He explained that he is suspicious of those who brag about their allyship and encouraged the speakers to share their thoughts on how people can be stronger allies to the trans community. Harry Potter says that it takes more than calling yourself an ally to be an ally. What are we all talking about?
This is a clap back for Daniel Radcliffe. It is, oh, you're an ally? Well, what do you do about that? Like, what is the action behind it? Mm-hmm. I am relieved to see this also because at the same time you have all this J.K. Rowling
turf crap.
Crap coming up. I don't know if she saw that happening, if she saw it's happening out and heard us all be like, no, we're not going to support the new series or whatever. But did you see her latest quote?
No.
Oh, her latest quote was basically, say all you want, I'm going to be in a champagne bubble bath.
Did she really say that?
Yes.
I mean, she's got so much money that she can be in a champagne bubble bath of hundreds. And we're giving her that money by supporting these franchises.
That's what you do with your privilege is put down people who were the most attacked,
marginalized, affected.
I love that Daniel Radcliffe is really having this active of a role. Not that it, balances anything out, but I love that he's being such a positive voice coming out and being challenging about this word ally.
We talked about it last week. I forgot why it was that we were talking about it last week, but it got to the point where we were like, okay, you can't just be an ally anymore and just say you're an ally. You said you can't just wear the t-shirt anymore. Like we're way past that at this point.
We had a guy come up to one of the last prides that we worked. You know, so Luke and I have basically like a pride and chainmail type of business with harnesses and bracelets and necklaces.
Beautiful, beautiful jewelry. Look it up, okay? I wear some of it all the time.
Linksbyluke.com. You're welcome.
I love Luke.
And I do too.
Not in that way.
More than you.
Yeah.
More than you.
A little bit different.
Okay.
I like him too.
So anyway, somebody came up to our booth and they were shopping through, and we always kind of put things where these are the traditional rainbow, where it's the things that have 6 colors, and this is the progressive, and we explained to people the difference between those flags. And this little old man came up and he bought 2 bracelets. He bought one with the traditional, just 6 colors, very popular with like just the G and the L, and sometimes with the B. But then he also bought a trans bracelet that had the pink, the white, and the blue. And I said, do you know what that one means? He said, yeah, this is the one for trans. I was like, well, that's so cool that you're wearing it. He said, I'm not trans, but I want them to see that representation when I go out. I want people to ask me about it. And he was just the most unassuming, sweet man that really put that allyship forward.
White guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying that it matters, okay, but it does matter, right? The reality is that more people are probably go up to this white guy that's unassuming and say, oh, what's that bracelet all about? And he'll have to explain it, and it'll come from someone that is not part of our community.
Yeah.
But just by saying something as simplistic as this is a community that's being marginalized and being attacked at all sides, look into it.
I'm going to take sides. I'm going to take sides with them. Yeah, because people are going to be much more likely to go up to him than they would be, with me in a harness and all this. And people aren't going to are not going to ask me.
Or a drag queen. Or, I mean, you just don't, you don't know where the person's head space is at. And, everybody says they're an ally. Everybody goes to our drag shows and tips and has their bachelorette parties there and everything. Like I said, we're way past that. Like, we need people to use their platforms to say and express what they're feeling, even if they don't understand it, like it's just so needed. And I remember when Radcliffe, right? When, when Harry Potter movies were over and everybody was kind of questioning him and his sexuality, and he started doing Broadway and stuff like that. And then it was like, oh, is he going to come out? Is he going to start telling people?
When he started taking off his shirt.
That's usually how it goes, right?
A little fine chest.
What's your coming out story? I took off my shirt. The rest fell into place, But kudos to folks like that, because we need more of that. You can't just wear that A on your shirt anymore and just say, I love you, community.
Yeah.
I respect you. It takes more than that. It takes posting on your social media where people are like, oh, I didn't know you were gay. You don't have to be gay to post something on your social media.
That's
just
right.
Being supportive of this community.
Yeah, that drag queen needs your vote more than they need your slimy dollar bill that's been stuffed in between the couch cushions.
Word. Next, in the past, Bad Bunny has used his music videos and performances to express his advocacy for the queer community. Speaking of allies. So recent examples including dressing in drag in the music video for Yo Perreo Sola, and wearing a shirt on The Tonight Show that acknowledged the death of Alexia Negron Luciano, a trans woman murdered in Puerto Rico. He's also no stranger to kissing men. At the 2022 VMAs, Bad Bunny locked lips with one of his male backup dancers during his performance of Titi Me Preguntó. He also nearly broke the damn internet when pics of him making out with Mexican actor Gael Garcia Bernal in their upcoming film leaked online. While talking to Time magazine, he agreed that man-on-man face sucking is very cool. The LGBTQ plus fans would love to see him kissing more and more men. Why we love Bad Bunny even more? He's okay kissing boys and standing up for trans rights. What are we all talking about?
It's just a shame that he's not more attractive. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. That man is fine.
He is so beautiful.
And to me, this is also just the definition of masculinity, where a lot of times we take it to a toxic place or we use it as a negative. This to me is where you see it in a very, very positive light. He is so comfortable with himself that these are just different roles, that he's playing in these different parts. There's no there's no yuckiness.
No. There's no malice, and that's how it should be. And that is how it is from someone who is comfortable with their sexuality, fluid in just the know-how that all people are hot, right? That all people can be sexy. And that's where he's at. I loved when he wore that shirt with Alexia's name on it. No one was talking about it, and it got people to look up who this beautiful woman that was murdered was. Little Nas X does this, but he's gay. It's like so different when somebody else who isn't.
Yeah. I was listening to Little Nas X song, actually, and he talks about, didn't know if the boy was the G or the B. Have you heard that line?
Yes.
So me and my very white husband are like, what is he talking about? We're like, is it drugs? So we Googled it, and is it the Glock or the Bussy? Basically, is he a top or bottom? So I know that's a totally random insertion, but I was like,
But now you learn about Little Nas X's lyrics,
yes.
But I mean, and Bad Bunny says things like that, in Spanish in his reggaeton, and it's just very, again, without malice. It's like, hey, my aunt was gay.
Is that what that song title is? Titi May.
It translates to my aunt asked me. So basically, like, do you like boys? Do you like girls? Like, it's like, I like what I like. I like what I like. I like what I like.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask that question.
And don't be afraid to love who you love and be who you are. And he doesn't care about the backlash. He's like, yeah, whatever. All these people are still buying my records.
You ain't taking Bad Bunny down, bitch.
Nope, Bad Bunny forever, for life. Next, speaking at her local city hall in Franklin, Tennessee. Take a breath for this one, okay, Mark? Okay, so let's start again, all right? So speaking at her local city hall in Franklin, Tennessee, where local officials were voting on whether to allow the parade, the former Saturday Night Live star and comedian Victoria Jackson gave a bizarre reference to Bible verses in a bid to support her claim. She said that, quote, God hates sodomy. He hates homosexuality. It's an abomination. And God hates sexual immorality of all kinds. One of the things he hates the most is pride, end quote. Jackson then urged listeners to watch YouTube videos of apparent former gay man Beckett Cook, who claims that he became straight after listening to a church sermon. Watch this.
Victoria Jackson. God hates sodomy. He hates homosexuality. He said it's an abomination. And God hates sexual immorality, all kinds, fornication, adultery, etc. And God hates pride. Like, one of the most things he hates is pride. Proverbs 11:12, when pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. The Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not go unpunished. Proverbs 16:18, pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. And Sodom and Gomorrah proves that God hates sodomy and sexual immorality and pride. And it's still there. And archaeologists have uncovered it. You can go on YouTube and see. It's a frozen city in sulfur and fire and brimstone. Brimstone is sulfur. I just want to encourage this generation not to be brainwashed and to watch Beckett Cook on YouTube. Beckett.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
You can exit the stage.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
We all
Victoria
have
who?
YouTube.
Victoria who? What? How long since this woman has even been relevant, Mark? Oh my God.
Like 20 years. This has been her biggest speaking gig, I think, in the last 20 years. And she was shit on SNL.
Do you folks remember her on Saturday Night Live? You probably don't.
No,
and that was the character that she played. Like, I thought it was the character that she played.
There is no difference between every character that she played and that.
Listen.
But can we just look at some of the logic here? Because number one, you have this huge problem that, okay, if that is what you believe that God said, why do those rules extend anywhere beyond your own
house,
personal,
your domain?
Yes, your house, your church, but what belongs to you. The fact that this is where she takes another crazy logical leap is she goes after pride as the biggest sin. But what are you doing there using your religion as something that you are so proud of that other people should follow it? It's such BS. I am so glad that clip was not longer.
Oh my God. And she should be embarrassed of that. And then God hates pride. I don't know. I swore I saw God at Miami Beach Pride a couple months back. And I invited God to come to Stonewall Pride, and I think he's going to make an appearance. I don't think God hates prides.
Don't fall for anybody who says that they have a direct line to God. I mean, the most spiritually connected and aware people that I know are also the first to admit that, hey, this is our best guess. I'm going to guide you as best as I can.
Exactly. We don't know it all.
The minute that somebody does say that they know it all, there's an agenda at work. Get out of the room.
So, and God hates sodomy. So no more blowjobs for anybody. Sorry.
Why?
It's not true. We don't live in Tennessee. We don't live in Tennessee.
Okay,
it's
yeah,
okay.
We're Florida, so we're 10 minutes behind.
Yeah, so we'll get there next year. We'll get there next year. Oh, God.
That's on the next legislative agenda.
You just made me so sad. God. Listen, Victoria, enjoy your 2 minutes of fame. Go back to obscurity where you came from. You weren't funny then. You're still not funny. And I can't believe that they literally made these characters around you. It's the same exact person from SNL. I thought you were playing a dumb person. You actually are a dumb person. All right, let's move on to something more fun. Bye. Cortinas. Next. So cortinas are curtains in Spanish, right?
I knew that, but I didn't know that
Well,
was
so basically it's kind of like, okay, we're done.
Whatever.
Curtains.
Cortinas.
Ciao.
Ciao, puta.
Cortinas, puta. I love the puta aspect. I wasn't going to ask her. I wasn't going to call her a puta, but I mean, it all works. It all works. If Bad Bunny can do it, I can do it too.
That's right.
Next, Wicked fans. Woohoo! Well, we received a sneak peek at first look shots of Wicked starring Cynthia Erivo as Alphaba and Ariana Grande as Glinda. The movie is split into 2 parts and will drop part 1 in November 2024. The first part shows Cynthia Erivo as our future Wicked Witch of the West, Alphaba. The second part is of Ariana Grande in a stunning pink puffy dress that I would totally wear as Glinda the Good Witch with a beautiful crown. The filming is not yet complete, so fans can hopefully expect more teasers from the set soon. In the meantime, however, people have many thoughts on the first glimpse. Some have pointed out that the shots are very dark. However, according to the movie director John Chu, fans do not have to worry about the brightness of the picture and the color theme, as color is in his DNA, and there's plenty of time to show more. Wicked the movie, what are we all talking about?
This is a dangerous... This is a... Oh my God.
I'm so excited! I'm gonna go green! Okay, sorry.
We have that picture of you from when you would dig green on the green screen.
Oh my God.
You have totally got to use that.
I could totally be off.
This is cruelty to homosexuals.
It really is.
Because when Ariana Grande comes out on stage in that pink dress, there's going to be a gay gasp that will cause the theater to collapse inward and probably kill us all.
Completely. And everybody's pearls will fall to the floor because we're grabbing them so tightly. And then we're also gagging at the same time. So it's just going to be a lot going on when this comes out.
And how do you get the nerve to be splitting this up into 2 movies that are spread out months apart? What am I supposed to do in the middle?
Yeah. Go see Wicked.
Yes. Oh, I just saw it. It was at
Me too.
At the Kravis Center.
Oh my God, I saw it too. I saw it in at Arts Center. I just love Wicked, and I am a huge fan of Idina Menzel, from Rent days. So
phenomenal.
Her and Kristen Chenoweth.
Chenoweth. Yes.
I always say her name wrong. Those are just the epitome of what these 2 characters are for this Wicked geek, right? So when they first announced Ariana, I was kind of like, oh no, I don't know.
But now that you've seen the production, you see her in it, right?
And I could see it.
Yes.
I could totally see it. And I heard a small little clip, and that range was like,
the show was. It was so good. And I think it really speaks to LGBTQ plus as well. Yeah. Because, we're walking around and getting just demonized all the time. All these laws passed against us. Everybody, thinking that we're some amoral or immoral group of
abomination.
people.
We've been called mutants.
When really, just like in Wicked, if you sit down and actually talk to that person and hear their story all the way out, everybody has a beautiful story and an explanation for why they feel the way that they do in the world.
And we
So,
should all defy gravity.
absolutely.
And if you haven't seen Get
you
Wicked,
should
there's
get
something wrong with
You
it.
should get that for the set, like little. We can get strung up
And then just fly across.
float above the bed.
What kind of budget do you think we have, Mark?
I don't know, enough for rope. Shit.
Listen, we'll be talking more about Wicked
Okay.
for sure, okay? Any sneak peeks that arise, we'll bring them to you for sure, all right?
And we did good. We didn't give any spoilers.
You know the ending, everybody dies.
I didn't. It was my first time seeing the show. I didn't tell anybody that before I went.
you
I'm like-
can't.
I was like, they're going to take away my gay card before I even get to the theater.
Yes.
But now I've seen it, so
So there it is. Watch it. So finally, reality TV lovers, you can now rejoice as the UK's first exclusively gay dating show is coming to the BBC real soon. BBC Three's new dating show, I Kissed the Boy, will follow 10 single gay men who jet off to romantic Masseria in the Puglia region of Italy. Yes, on their quest to find love. Is that where White Lotus was filmed? I wonder. But before even uttering a single word to one another, the contestants looking for their happily ever after have to kiss. The show promises to challenge viewers' preconceptions as dramatic decisions reveal whose spark will ignite, whose eyes might wander, and who will end up together. No release date has yet been set for I Kissed a Boy. It's time for another gay dating show, folks. What are we all talking about?
I'm so glad to have a show that I can watch without Luke. He hates this stuff. He
Doesn't like reality shows, or he doesn't like game shows like that?
reality shows
Okay.
specifically. But the fact that they're all British guys.
Isn't he
you know,
British?
Yeah, exactly. I think that that's part of it.
Okay.
Because like
Okay.
I just need to tell him like, look, babe, I know I got the best one, and that these are definitely like second string. But
But Mark has such pretty teeth.
Mark.
I mean, Luke has such pretty teeth. Like, he doesn't remind me of like the normal British guy that I'm used to seeing, like with the messed up teeth. Oh, you did that. Okay. We'll leave it there, Luke.
Don't do that around British people. Oh my God.
What? They don't know that?
Well, it's kind of a stereotype. They're
Why?
not all. It's just it is just not a priority. There are British people that I know who have never been to the dentist ever. It's just not a part of kind of the image of.
So teeth just don't matter there. That's just what it is. We're here. It's like such a
guess.
prominent thing.
I
Right?
guess.
Whereas
Yeah.
like here, like when
mean-
you're in school, they make fun of your teeth. That's one of the first things that people make fun of. Oh, you look at that gap you have in your teeth. Go get braces. You know, your family's broke. I mean, that's usually like not there. That's not
No,
there.
I mean,
More.
for me, teeth was like the very first thing. Like when I got my first promotion, I took that money directly to the dentist. I had him picked out. I'm like, I've just always wanted a nice smile.
Well, and you have a
And I
beautiful
got it.
smile. So British people, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody. I didn't know that it was at the beginning. It was not an important thing. So I don't know. I'll send some hot dentists over there.
So
I don't know what to tell you.
are you
So,
excited about this show? I'm worried about it, honestly, because
well, it doesn't have a. I mean, most gay shows like this don't have a great track record.
no, there was like the Are You the One, where it was just kind of like all bisexual people. Nobody knew like
What was going on.
Like what the hell to
Yeah.
do? Then they had that one. It was probably 4 years back where it was like a gay porn star top and 12 bottoms chasing around. Then there was 24
Sounds like
hours.
Wilton Manors.
Oh, 20. Yeah, one top and 12 bottoms.
Yeah,
That's about right.
I mean-
then there was 24 Hours of Love with Miss Vanjie Mateo.
Oh my God,
which
yes.
I love Vanjie.
I love her, but the show was awful.
Oh, it was.
The show was
it
really
so
bad, Vanjie. I'm
So,
sorry,
like,
mommy.
we don't have a good track record
we don't.
on this, but
We don't.
I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to be positive about it that we have some decent representation. But then again, I mean, like, what straight dating reality shows are really good either? The Bachelor has been terrible.
Oh, yes,
for
but
a
it's very
while.
popular, honey. But
Yeah.
it's really popular. Like, okay, but I like this little change in kind of the dynamic of how usual dating shows go, that they will have to kiss before. Okay, so a lot can be revealed with a kiss. You might end up
Oh, I-
enjoying a kiss with someone that's not that great looking. And then what? Does that, like, are you that shallow to not follow through with the remembering of the hot kiss? Or would you pick the prettier looking guy because maybe you can teach him how to kiss better?
Well, I also like this because it's not just kind of your top bottom type of a setup. So I think that there's going to be conversations around that because, you know, like what you might put on Grindr or on a dating profile or what you might do playtime is not necessarily reflective of what you're willing to do in a loving relationship. So I'm very interested to see how some of those conversation goes and the fluidity in that space. I'm definitely going to tune in. And I'll watch the whole thing even if it's bad. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to want to see the end. That's how I know
Or the
who
asses.
Vanjie didn't
I want
end
to
up
see
with.
the asses, which is the end.
Wait, like,
They're asses. Yeah.
oh, like they're little
yeah, like
asses?
their butts. Like, you know, I mean, that's why I watch reality shows to see some kind of tits and ass.
It's an ass.
Mark, you have anything fun going on this week? Like, I'm still trying to get over from last week. We had, you know, last weekend there was Mother's Day, which I don't have my mother with me, but I always try to like pick up like straggling mothers and be like, hey, let's all get something to eat together, right? Which is what I usually do. No, I swear, I grab other people's mothers and go, all right, let's go. And then we also had Save, the Champions of Equality Gala over the weekend, where my really good friend Glenn Weinzimmer was acknowledged. We love you, Glenn. I just wanted to say thank you for all you do at the Smart Ride and at Bona and all that fun stuff. So I think I'm going to take this weekend off. That's coming up. I'm just saying. Anything fun that you and Luke might be doing?
Well, I'm going to go see the parents, but we are also adding some new stuff to the linksbyluke.com. I don't know which camera it is, but go to the website no matter which one it is, linksbyluke.com.
I'm going to be wearing an incredible thing by Links by Luke soon. I'm not going to spoil it. I'll let you guys
Well,
know
and
soon.
actually, let's see, given the date, yeah, it's going to be ready in about
A couple
week.
weeks. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not going to spoil that either, but
This is my
you're going to
happy-
see something in this bed that has not been seen before on Miss Faye. What?
Youth?
No, I'm sure you've had youth on top of you several times.
Under me, bitch.
Oh,
Power
that
top.
girl.
I know, folks. I know. I got to thank Mr. Mark Pettitt for being in bed with me. I love having you, honey.
Mwah.
Thank you. I'll see you soon in a couple of weeks. You're back in
got
bed
it.
with me. You better be.
Yes,
all right?
ma'am.
And say hello to Mr. Luke for me. I love you,
See,
Luke.
two
Thank you for all
tops
you
can
do.
work out.
You see?
As long as you're different letters on the rainbow.
There's that. Well, thank you, Mark, for getting up early. I know how hard it is because gay boys sleep late. So the FayWhat show is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America. Hotspots Magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ plus experience for 38 years. And Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ plus news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. Did you know the Happening Out Television Network Studios is located at Sunshine Cathedral Square, which also houses Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church located in Fort Lauderdale? We broadcast their Sunday service every week at 10:30 a.m. At the FayWhat Show, we want to introduce you to interesting people that are important to our LGBTQ plus community. I'm so excited about my next guest in bed with me this morning. This week, I have invited a person who is very special to the LGBTQ plus community. She's a wife, she's a mom, she's a cancer survivor, a business owner, and former candidate for Florida State Senate in Miami-Dade. Her name is Janelle Perez. She is openly gay and currently trying to figure out what's the best way to fight the horribly anti-LGBTQ plus policies that are coming out of Tallahassee right now? After graduating from Florida International University, FIU, Janelle moved to Washington, D.C. and began her career on Capitol Hill. Honing her policy analysis skills, and as a mother, first-generation American and businesswoman, she ran for Florida State Senate to fight for opportunities for every child and family in 2022. Janelle is passionate about her family, her wife, and their two beautiful girls. She hates seeing people being mistreated and no one stepping up. She also wants to remind everyone how important it is to vote. Janelle Perez. Okay. I'm my own audience. Okay. So.
Okay.
We love her.
Thank you.
How are you, Mama?
I'm
How
great.
you doing?
I'm good. I'm enjoying the things that I'm passionate about now,
Yeah.
getting to pick and choose where I spend my time. Been joining a couple of political boards.
Ooh, I like
so that I can
that.
stay active, but
I
for
like
the
that.
most part, enjoying every minute of being a mom and hanging out with my wife and making up for the time that I lost during the campaign.
Well, you didn't lose it because
No,
I
yeah.
mean, I know that you learned a lot about yourself. I know that your wife also learned a lot about you as a unit, you know. But I tell you know, and so let me apologize on behalf of DeSantis and all those horrible people that are taking you away from your retirement, you know, because you can't, you know, you really can't stop fighting.
Yeah.
It's in you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so you're not running for an office right now,
No.
but here you are sitting here in bed. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you was because, you know, Janelle, I didn't give a shit about politics until
Yeah.
Trump. I didn't. And I wish I could sit here and lie to you and say I did, but I really didn't, you know, and it wasn't until that all of a sudden my fears came up and I was like, okay, let me start paying attention. You know, I
Yeah.
need to know what the hell's going on to me and my community. And, you know, and here we are. And so I'm full of fear
Yeah.
still. You know, when Biden got elected, I kind of was like, oh, okay, maybe there's hope, right?
Yeah, but we still have Ron DeSantis.
But we still have Ron DeSantis. And so I'm full of fear. And I figured that you would be the easiest person to talk to about my fears because I know that my fears aren't only my fears. They're
Yeah.
all our community's fears.
Yeah.
You know? Are you tired of fighting?
No, absolutely not. So after the 2022 election, I mean, I had a pretty good idea that Ron DeSantis was going to win. Unfortunately, I did not foresee the outcome of my election in specific. I had a little bit of an idea, but not that much. My wife and I sat down and we were like, okay, Florida is really not embracing us, and I don't want to believe that that's true. I don't want to believe that Florida is rejecting the LGBTQ community. I think for a majority of folks, people are embracing of us here, the people that live in Florida. I just think those people didn't go out and vote. And that's why I am very, very passionate about getting people to go vote. Voting is your biggest form of protest. It's the biggest, for whoever said that voting doesn't matter or my vote counts. Our legislature, the Florida legislature, wouldn't be trying so hard to silence it. They
Yeah.
wouldn't be trying to make it so hard to go vote if your vote didn't matter.
And we're seeing that right
Exactly,
now for those
exactly.
folks that were like, I'm an ally or I'm part of this community, I'm going to go vote. And then they did it. And then we see
Yeah.
the people put into power in these different chairs that were up for grabs. And now we're on the negative end of this.
Yeah.
Big time.
And I think a big part of the reason why a lot of those people didn't go out and vote, the people that are allies and all of that stuff, I think it was our job I'm a Democrat. I think it was our job as Democrats to go out there and give them a better reason than just, I need you to do this for me. Because sometimes when you go and you ask a friend and you say like, hey, I need you to do this for me, sometimes they're less inclined. But when you make it about something that's important to them as well, they'll tend to do it more often. If we were to talk about how basic human rights also impacts your pocketbook and the economy here in Florida, if we were to make that connection and really connect the dots for people, I think a lot more people would be inclined to vote and to vote for candidates who are going to fight for basic human rights and basic human decency.
Because that's what it is. It's basic human rights.
Yeah.
And that was why, you know, we were always divided into Republican and Democrat. And then that's a completely different thing. Not all Republicans are right-wing crazy people that don't think that we should be alive.
I will say this, but I used to be a Republican. I was a Republican until the Tea Party. When the Tea Party movement started to happen and And I worked for Congresswoman Ileana Ross-Lehtinen when I was in DC. I think when everything just really, for me, seeing the Tea Party movement and seeing then Donald Trump, like Donald Trump was the nail on the coffin. It was what made Republicans just fall off the deep end for me, and it just became a party that was unrecognizable to me. I don't think that we are, and I spent a lot of my campaign talking about this, like we are not all just Democrat and just Republican. You know, people labeled me as a Democrat and not being pro-business, not being all of these things. But how can you say that? I own a business.
You are a business owner. Yeah.
Every
A
single
successful
thing.
business
Yes.
owner.
Every single thing that I have is through business and learning from my family and our family business. And even now I sit here and I'm telling you, I'm enjoying my free time, but I've really got like 10 different projects that I'm trying to,
and 4
to get
different
done.
boards that you're probably going to be on, knowing you.
Trying to, yes, there's things that I'm trying to work on that are business and entrepreneurial. And that is, you know, so I think here in Florida, and I think those things that we attach, those stereotypes that we attach to these parties, they're not true.
Yeah.
And for the folks that are not interested in politics, I mean, God, I've never seen so much gossip and chimeria and like just everything.
If you like shade,
And,
you
yes.
should get into politics.
Politics is so like, listen, just pick up the popcorn, make some popcorn and sit back, because like this is, especially in Florida, the drama and the like, I'm not going to put people on blast, but there is a lot of shady things happening up there in Tallahassee.
I bet there's a lot of shady shit going on down here.
Yes, it's dirty. It's crazy.
So, you know, another one of the reasons that solidified the fact that I wanted to sit here and have this conversation with you is that you're Cuban, right? First generation?
Yes.
Here. You live down south, right?
Pinecrest,
At
yeah.
Pinecrest, you know. And so like my mother-in-law lives in Westchester,
Oh,
right?
nice.
In
Mine
Westchester, right? Here she does. Okay. So every time I go visit her, I see all the Cubans outside Tropical Park.
Yeah, those are my favorites. Those are
And, you know,
funny.
and it's hard because my wife's Cuban, the family's Cuban, and, and she's like, that's not the kind of Cuban I am.
Yeah,
You know?
but don't take away their Obamacare. Don't take
Okay,
away their Social Security.
Exactly, but that's the thing. So how is it that you are voting so far Republican, but you're getting Medicare when you're here a month? Like, so please explain to me, as the Cuban American that you are, how that's possible.
I think it goes back to messaging, and it goes back to the fact that Republicans are standing outside of these Obamacare or Affordable Care Act centers, and they're literally registering people to vote outside, and they're doing it with a bunch of misinformation. They're standing at the citizenship ceremonies and the naturalization ceremonies, and they're going back. The people walk out, and they're standing right there, ready to register to them to vote.
I did not
But
know
like
that.
people are unaware, and like we as Democrats are failing at sharing that message. We should be the ones that are out there at the Affordable Care Act, at the Obamacare centers saying, hey, did you know that this program was provided to you by Democrats? Here, register to vote.
Yeah.
Vote to keep this going. Because if you don't, the other side, they're voting to cut it. They want to take it away.
Yeah.
And then for your naturalization, hey, until you became a citizen, these guys wanted you out.
Yeah.
They didn't want you here. They wanted to make it harder for you to live here. They wanted to you're what? Illegal. That's what they called you up until this moment.
Yeah.
So I think we all need to do better, but I think we all need to do our part.
Yeah.
When I started my campaign, we had countless opportunities for people to come out and knock on doors and talk to folks with me. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to be at farmers markets throughout my district, just talking to people about the things that were important to them, not about Democrats, not about Republicans, but just what are the issues that are impacting you today, and how can our government make your life better? Because that is what we pay taxes for.
Yeah.
No one showed up to volunteer. No one, and I know, I get it. It's hard. It's Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Saturday,
and
you're
things
knocking
like
on
that.
doors and people are slamming doors in your face. I've done it. Thank you, Orlando.
It's not that bad. When you go to farmers markets or you go to any of these things, and sometimes you have great conversations, and sometimes you don't. But if you're able to change like one mind, you knock on 20 doors and you're able to get one good conversation,
Then it
like
was
that's
worth
a
it.
good thing.
Then it was worth it.
Absolutely.
But
Because
we
that
have to do
person's
that
gonna go
with,
talk to other
but
people.
we have to do that with everybody.
Yeah.
And that's like, to answer my question about the crazy Cubans that I love you Cubans. I still
We
don't
are
understand
crazy.
the Republican
We are
thing.
crazy.
It's a comunismo, you know, and it's like, what? Like,
Yeah.
okay, you know?
Yeah, keep your socialist hands off my off my Medicare and my Medicaid and my Social Security and all of that
Pero
stuff.
Biden no sirve.
But yeah, but like it's wild to me. But
But one person
Make
at
it
a
make
time,
sense.
like you said,
Yeah.
right? One person at a time at your kitchen table over your colada, just,
Yeah.
maybe not go to Versailles and like, scream about our rights. Maybe not the right place to go, but
why not? Why not?
Why
though?
not?
Why not? We should. Versailles is just as much ours, and I mean this as Democrats, as a part of the LGBTQ community, as a woman, whatever. Versailles is just as much ours as it is anyone else's. It's a public or a private establishment in a public place. They provide services to every single person. So why not? Why are we so afraid to go and have those difficult conversations? We shouldn't be.
And we can't be right now.
No, we
And
can't.
we really can't be.
We can't.
Janelle, drag queens, okay? The drag queen ban.
I'm a fan.
I know you are.
Of the drag queens.
I
not the
know
band.
you are. No, I know you're a fan of the drag queens. I know. I stalk you. Can this really be enforced? Can this really be happening?
I mean, can it be enforced? I have no idea. I mean, we talk about the abortion, the 6-week abortion, and we wonder how that's going to even be enforced without violating HIPAA laws. But I don't know. I mean, I think what can happen is that they start closing down establishments and they start taking away liquor licenses.
Which are like a number one way we make money.
Exactly, which is already happening. But I think that that's the way that they really crack down on it. Unfortunately, which I would hope that they would start shutting down some Hooters as well, because that seems pretty provocative to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but listen, Hooters, okay?
I mean, I'm a fan of Hooters.
I'm a fan of Hooters. I'm a fan of the outfits.
On
I really am.
Lesbian National Visibility Day, we are both fans of Hooters.
We are very much fans of Hooters, but we also know that we feel like it's okay to marginalize women. It's okay. No,
Yeah.
we're used to that. Sexualizing women, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, no one even questions that. But like going back to like my, I love my mother-in-law, but she's a Trumpster and she's, a little crazy. And some of the stuff that she believes, I'm like, no, you don't really, come on, you don't, they really do believe that drag queens are going into our schools and like injecting kids with things to make them gay. I know that sounds crazy, world, but they really think this, Janelle.
Yeah, and it's wild because that's never actually happened. And like when we go back to that, like I'm a parent. If I felt like it, if I wanted to take my daughter with me to a drag show, like what happened to parental rights? Mm-hmm. We just passed a bunch of legislation called parental rights. What happened to my right to be able to decide what my daughter like goes and does and sees on the weekends? And if she wants to get a book, if my wife and I decide that we want a drag queen to read a book to my daughter, like who cares?
Yeah.
Like, but it's okay for some half-naked lady to feed my daughter wings at Hooters? Like, please tell me how this is okay. And like, not just that, like every drag show that I've seen, a majority of them, unless it's late at night at a club, 18 or 21 and over, they're not sexualized.
No.
So it's just, I mean, it's a performance. It's theater. It's an art.
It's an art.
It's just beyond me why, but we've noticed, or something that I've always said is like, Republicans always look for a scapegoat. They can't offer you hope. They can't offer you solutions because, first of all, this whole area was flooded.
Yeah.
Our homeowners insurance is going to go up 60% next year.
Where was DeSantis?
Oh, he
okay,
was in,
he was
like,
on a
Japan
book
or
tour.
something, yeah.
He was, I'm busy on a book tour. Fort Lauderdale está inundiéndose. Okay,
Yeah.
it's flooded. It was a
Exactly.
1 in 1,000-year flood, folks. Look it up.
Yeah. They don't have solutions for these problems that we are all facing. Serious problems, whether you're gay, straight, bi, whatever you are. We are all facing these very serious economic problems. They haven't had any solutions for these things. FP&L keeps going up, keeps getting approved to go up. All of these crazy things. So what do? To get support is that they give you fear. They don't have solutions. They don't have hope. They have fear.
Fear.
So they create this fear, and for some reason, the LGBTQ community has always been that source of that fear. A couple of years ago, it was the bathroom ban.
Yeah.
Now it's the drag queens. Like, what's gonna happen next? Like, it's wild to me. But we need to call them out on it, and everybody needs to call them out on it.
Everybody needs to call them out about it.
And we need to vote like it matters. Again, please tell me when a person of the LGBTQ community, like, think hard, has taken away an opportunity from you, or the people that are watching, that an opportunity has been taken away from you by a person of the LGBTQ community because they have rights. The truth is, it's never
happened.
So why is this what our governor and the Republican legislature have decided to go after now? It's insane. It's wild. And again, to the people that voted for Ron DeSantis and the Republican legislature that we have right now, what have they done to make your day-to-day life better? They own the libs and they got the drag queens, but you're still paying an insane amount of money for your homeowner's insurance.
Double.
Yeah, you're still struggling. You still can't put food on the table. Things haven't gotten cheaper.
Yeah.
So what?
So what? I mean, Janelle, I know 2 people that have had to leave Florida. Florida has been an easy state to you can get any little job and get yourself an apartment for less than $1,000 and be fine. That doesn't exist anymore.
No.
So I know 2 single women that because their income was just not enough, they had to leave. And I know that they're not in the, I know that there's more people out there that are probably struggling through the same thing. I'm afraid for our LGBTQ plus teachers, Janelle. You know, I've got clients. I have a doggy boarding company, you guys know, and one of my clients is an incredible high school teacher in Miami Beach, and I'm like, what are you going to do? He's like, look, I'm just going to be me. And if something happens, I'm fine. Fire me. Yeah. But I mean, he's got a husband who's got a great job and they'll be okay. That's not the case for every LGBTQ plus teacher.
No, it's not. And it's not. And it's our community and it's every single person. We are being pushed out of Florida because it's become so incredibly unaffordable. And the other side of the argument is, it's bringing up the value of my home and my property. And this is great for us. This is awesome. And our homes are doing so well and all of this stuff. Yeah. But what are you going to do when you don't have a workforce? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do when the people that work in what keeps us functioning as a society can't work? We saw what happened during COVID. We needed everybody to go to work at Whole Foods. We needed and Publix and take out our trash and to do all of these things. We need our workforce. So cool, you could keep your house and then the value has gone up and now you're selling your Westchester house for $2 million. Where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go? And it's just it doesn't make. I always have this saying of make Florida make sense or make Miami voters make sense. And this is one of those make them make sense because I don't have the answer.
Yeah, no, and we're in crazy world right now, but it's exactly like you said. It's okay, well, look at this instead of dealing with with the real problems, you know? Our trans sisters are being killed at an alarming rate, especially Black and brown, all right?
It's awful.
And we all talk about it, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah, I know. And it's can you imagine if these white women or even these Hispanic heterosexual women would talk about LGBTQ issues or drag queens or just any of this stuff, the way that they talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or something like that. I feel like our problems would be solved and they just don't. It's really sad. It's sad that trans women that get killed don't get the same kind of attention that everyone else does. I mean, look, you brought it I kind of overheard you talk one time about the girl that drove into a driveway and got shot.
Yeah.
There was, along with that story in that same week, there was another girl who was also not accidentally, but was also shot, and it was a Black girl. She's not on TV as much as this white girl is at all.
And the same crime happened to her.
Exactly. The same thing. I think it was that she got into a car, her and her friends were in a parking lot at a gas station. She got into the wrong car. The guy got out of the car, followed her to the correct car, and then just shot them. It's wild, but that's the media and and that's us. I mean, I think us as a society and us as a community of LGBTQ people need to continue to show up for one another.
We have.
Right now, our trans, the T, needs the most help. So this is the moment that we all need to step up for those women, because at the end of the day, our movement started with them.
It's true. Yeah, Stonewall. I mean, they were the ones who threw the first brick, and we can't ever forget that. And we need something like that now.
Yeah.
Janelle. Like, you touched on it a little bit on the 6-week, for abortions. I'm not proud of it, but I'm glad that I had the option, right? In my younger days, I was not ready to have a child, and the person that I was impregnated by was not someone that I wanted to have in my life forever. Yeah. And as a mom, so I made that difficult choice. But the freaking reality is that I didn't even know till month 2.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't me, woohoo, I'm a party girl, blah, blah. It just really my body was what it was. And I did not know until it was month 2. So fast forward, if that was now, I would be forced to have that child.
Yes. Having access to abortion is access to healthcare. It is not only like a family decision, but it's an economic decision, because and it is fiscally conservative to decide to not have a child.
Yes.
And isn't
that what we want? Are we always saying like, oh, you're having all those kids, I don't want to pay for them, right? But I mean, I guess we do want to pay for them.
Yeah, and like, who's gonna adopt them? Oh, put them up for adoption. Who? Every single person that I've ever spoken to that says, oh, but you could always put them up for adoption, I've asked, have you ever adopted a child? And they're like, no, that's not for me. So who exactly is it that you want to adopt these children? It's just, it's for me, it's wild. The abortion ban it's sickening. My daughters, I have 2 girls, one that's about to be 6, one that just turned 1, and they're growing up in a Florida, just being women, being girls, they're growing up in a Florida that gives them less rights than when I was growing up in Florida. And I'm still in my childbearing years. And I mean, thank God I'm a lesbian, because it's not going to happen for me. Like, there's no oopsies here. Yeah. But yeah, I think about my girls, and I am fortunate, and my girls are fortunate that we have the resources that if that difficult decision ever needed to be made, they could leave. The women that are going to be impacted this in staggering numbers are going to be the Black and brown women, especially the Black women. Yep. The women that don't have the resources and that can't leave, those are the ones. And on top of that, we talk about the female mortality rate when they give birth, when women give birth. It's so much higher in Black women than it is in everyone else. So this bill, this ban, is going to impact our society so much. And I mean, the way that, I mean, I'm not surprised with the way that our legislature does these things. We last election said that they were going to do all of these things. They're doing exactly what they said they would do. Yeah. So
why are we surprised, right?
I mean, no, we're not. I don't think anyone in our community, I don't think anyone's really surprised. I think what's surprising is the Republicans that are now like, oh my God, Ron DeSantis has gone too far. And it's like, bitch, come on. Like, hello. Like, I've been telling you this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Hi, Janelle, Dios mío. We have a lot of work to do. So here at the FayWhat Show, we always try to play like a game with our interview folks, just a way to get to know you better, right? And it's just kind of like, I call it now the first thing that comes up, right?
Okay.
Ding, right?
Okay.
So the first thing that comes up, and I'll give you an example. So like I'll say black.
Brown.
And you would say brown. Okay, and you see, just like that, there's no wrong answer. You're like,
sorry,
I want to take this test. I can tell you're an overachiever.
I don't want to cross my hands. I'm like,
oh, what is that? No, what is that? Then I got sweaty and then I smelled myself. No, okay.
What is that? I forgot that movie.
Superstar.
Molly, yeah.
Yes, Molly Shannon. That was it. All right, okay, here we go. So lightning round, and we're gonna go now. Disney.
DeSantis.
Black.
Brown.
Liquor.
Yum.
Drag queens.
Cool.
Doberman.
Pincher.
Roses.
Yes.
Humidity.
Ugh.
Pride.
Fun.
Plants.
Cool.
Dogs.
I have 2.
DeSantis.
Buh.
Pamela Anderson.
Hi.
Fur.
The
Meat.
I'd like a medium rare.
Sexy.
My wife.
Little Nas X.
I don't know a song.
Will Smith.
Is he gay?
No. Oh, is that what you're thinking of? Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
Okay,
the
no,
first-
no, no, no.
Is
It's
he?
fair. No,
I've heard-
well, I mean, I don't know. He might be. I mean, you know,
I've heard- I'm all
Will.
about Will.
Maybe that's why he slapped what's his face across the face because he's like, you know.
No. I listen. More power to that couple who is very open and. But I am curious because he's very handsome. I think that I think
The ears. ears.
You don't think Will Smith is handsome?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, I would welcome him into the LGBTQ community. So like, come on, we need more hotties. Like, well, come on over.
What do you think of when I say resting bitch face?
Trump.
Wow, I'll never be able to say resting bitch face again.
His
Yeah.
face is very bitchy.
Ugh, God. Okay. Ugh. What's a perfect day for you, Janelle?
Sleeping in. Now that I'm a mom, I enjoy my sleep. So when my wife lets me sleep in, then waking up, going, having breakfast, hanging out by the pool with my girls, and then barbecuing for them and putting them to bed at 7:30 on the dot, and then enjoying wine and dinner with my wife.
I love that.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's very
so
simple.
Perfect. That's so perfect. Janelle, lastly, what would you tell our community who's out there just as worried and fearful as I am about all this crap that's going on?
Vote, like just vote. It's so simple. It's so fast. It's so everything. It's a huge form of protest. 2024 is literally, I mean, this is going to go by so fast. It's right around the corner. Check if you're registered to vote. If you're not, I mean, if you vote by mail, you have to re-register again because DeSantis wanted to screw everyone over. But if this is the first time that you vote, I'm pretty sure that there's also a new law that just got passed that you have to vote in person for the first time in order to be able to do it. You can't vote by mail for the first time. Go find out all of the information on voting and please go do it. I work a lot with an organization named SAVE, and SAVE has been doing the work for a really long time. They have a lot of resources for people on how to vote, where to go register to vote, all of that kind of stuff. And me, reach out to me. My email is super easy. It's Janelle@JanellePerez.com. I am happy to send you links to register to vote, but please, voting is so important because then we end up with where we are now. And I know that redistricting, for the folks that are very into politics, redistricting did happen. They tried to silence our vote. But again, if we go out and vote in droves, and I've said vote 1,000 times, somebody count it, keep voting, just keep going. Tell everybody you know to vote. It's so important.
It sounds simple, but it's the least that you can do.
It's literally
It
the least
literally
that you
is
can
the
do.
least that you can
It
do.
is.
You know, I'm telling people to just vote. Donate your time, talent, and sweat. Okay? Whatever you can do. If you got some cash, send it over.
Yes, to our community, like to the LGBTQ community, vote like your lives literally depend on it, because
It does.
right now it really does. It feels like it does.
It does, you know, and let's not forget who we do it for. We do it for the people that come after us.
Yeah.
You know, your beautiful kids that are
Yeah.
on your pants right now, right? Like, you know, we don't know if they're going to be LGBTQ plus, but they should be allowed to be whoever they want to be.
They can be whoever they wanna be.
authentically,
Yeah.
without all this crap.
And if I gotta move for them to be whoever they want to be, I will do whatever it takes for them to have the most incredible lives.
I love that. You're a great mom.
Thanks.
You know, I met Janelle and her wife when we did a women's panel for Women's History Month a couple of months back, and I was just blown away by just her character, her aura, her professionalism.
Thank you.
You know, your light. And I'm sorry that your ass can't retire and enjoy yourself with your lesbian wife and sit on a couch watching L Word. We don't have time for that shit.
I'm 36. I'm definitely not retiring anytime soon. But like the politics thing, I think I like being on the outside right now. For now.
For now.
Which
means, you know, listen, follow Janelle Perez on all social media outlets. Send her a message and tell her that she needs to run again.
No. Not right now.
In the
Not right
future,
now.
when their kids are older.
Yeah, Florida Democrats just go out and vote.
Okay, or we can find somebody that maybe you want to vote and you need somebody to look up to and to mentor you. She's perfect for that.
Yes, I'm happy. If you want to run for office, yes, call me. I would love to hear.
There you go. You, and you. You know who you are. The ones that are always talking crap. Oh, they need to do this. They need to do that. You can actually be the one who makes that happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, anyone can do it.
There you go. So Janelle Perez, make sure that you follow her. She's one of the good guys. She's one of the ones that's making things happen and is shining bright wherever she goes to make sure that others know that we're not going anywhere and we will not be erased. Janelle, thank you for being on my show.
Thank you.
I love you, darling. I love you.
Thank you for having me.
We will be right back. Finally this morning, I want to get our week started by telling you some things that are really important to me. We call it Faye, what's on my mind? It's time to be selfish. Yes, I'm talking to you. It's time to be selfish and prioritize your own mental health. The desire to help make the world a better place is an incredible thing, and I love you for it. But if you notice what's going wrong in the world and feel a bit responsible to make it better, that says something really amazing about you and who you are. You know, my bestie and I were talking about this the other day. You're still one person, right? And your ability to make a positive difference is affected by your mental health. If you're so discouraged you can hardly get out of bed, it's going to be hard to make a big impact on what's important to you. So make time for self-care. Sometimes you need to drop the volunteer work and take a bubble bath. Don't feel bad about the fact that you're doing something for yourself. That bubble bath will help you feel refreshed and valued. When you're ready, you'll have more of yourself to give. Make space for gratitude. Okay, the world kind of freaking sucks sometimes, but it also is kind of beautiful all at the same time. You don't have to ignore the bad things to see the good things. Acknowledge negative emotions without dwelling on them and like staying in them. You know what I mean? Like our negative emotions are there to guide and protect us sometimes. They even motivate us sometimes to make changes. It's when we fixate on them and they start to take over our whole entire world, that's when it gets scary. If you're having trouble moving on, consider whether you might need some help with a mental health condition like depression or anxiety. Our online mental health tests are a great place to start. They have them everywhere. You can log on to Know Me and you can log on to any mental health organization and there'll be like a test that you can take to find out if you need some help, you know? Balance being informed with being mentally healthy. That is so important. You can't just be on all the time. And I'm telling you that while I'm telling myself that as well. Thinking nonstop about the problems in the world is only going to wear you down. You ever have those moments where you just feel so heavy and you don't feel like you have anything more to give? Well, that's a huge indication that you need to take a break. Okay, here's a few ways that you can do that. Set limits on your news and social media time. We're constantly kind of catastrophizing, right? Looking at all the crappy things online. You know, looking at the news for a few hours a week is a great way to stay informed and to know where you need to help and where you need to be informed, right? But looking at the news nonstop is a great way to also get really depressed. Focus on things that you can control. You know, we have each other. And you can control the circle of friends that you have. Pick certain people to be in that circle of influence, you know? There are things that you can change, but there are things that you can't. And that's gotta be okay too. You know, your circle of influence depends on lots of things also, like what you feel passionate about, where you live, what skills or knowledge you have, what's important to you, whether you have money or you might have more than money to give. Maybe you have time to give to some of these organizations. Don't try to save the world all at once, you know? Start where you are and take one step towards making a bigger difference, one step at a time. That step might be starting to volunteer an hour a week, or donate $5 to a cause that you care about, or share a post on social media, or it might be going back to step one, which is taking care of yourself, okay? That's the main thing that's on my mind right now. Take care of you. You know how they tell you on an airplane to put on the person's mask that's with you before you put on yours, right? All right, make sure that to put on your mask, before you put on the next person's mask. That is basically what I'm telling you to do. Take care of yourself. There's a lot of shit going on in the world right now, and you can't take care of it all at once. And you won't be of any use or help to any organization or any charity or any folks that need you if you are not 100% yourself. So take care of you. Well, that's it. That's the FayWhat show. I hope that you had fun. I am really passionate about trying to connect the L and the G in our LGBTQ plus community. I gotta tell you, it's often hard for us girls, but if we feel that we are one strong community, then we gotta support all the letters of our LGBT and Q plus. We open every show with a nod to Mary Tyler Moore and That Girl's Marlo Thomas. This show is dedicated to a strong LGBTQ plus community. I just encourage you to be a little bit kinder, a little bit funnier, and embrace our tremendous diversity. Honestly, it's what makes us so freaking strong. Until next Monday, world, at 9 a.m. live or anytime on demand. I gotta say thank you to Mark Pettitt for being in bed with me this morning. I love you, fool. I'm FayWhat, and I'm hashtag that girl. I wish you a week full of sunshine and rainbows. Stay gay.
Rainbows, gay boys, hashtag that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina but she's you? Rainbows, gay boys, hashtag that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina but she's you?
So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the FayWhat show. Get the week started with me.